What's up, Epic 7? TristenWulf here, bringing you some news about the events that are coming to us this week, covering a little bit of drama, confusion, trying to set some of your mind at ease, and also correcting some misinformation that I was given that was out in the last video. Apologize for that if that caused you guys any stress or drama. We'll get into that here in just a minute. First, I want to cover ever so slight misinformation in my video about the best place to farm. We had talked about farming in area 1010 and going for the chase 2. We had talked about farming in episode 4 and farming Northern Theron going for the hidden truth stage. It turns out that all the stages in their respective season pay out pretty much the same. The only difference being what catalysts can drop. So if you find that it's easier for you to farm, well, for example, in Northern Skugeheim, I found Plans Gone Awry is significantly faster and easier for me to farm than the chase in episode 10, and it has the exact same drops. Of course, in Plans Gone Awry, it drops the Soul Weaver catalysts, whereas in the chase, it drops the Ranger catalysts. But other than the catalysts that are dropped in the stage, the amount of gold, the amount of stigma, the loot table, all that's the same. So the only thing that really has any impact on the amount of perks you get is the season you farm. Now, one bit of drama from the prior week that's tipped over into this week. We've got a little bit of information on the Robin Mystic Pack number 4 situation. Now, for those of you who missed it, there was an issue with the Robin's pack number 4. And the issue was that in some iOS stores, the pack was listing as $60, when for everyone else it was listing for $100. And this let multiple people buy a $100 pack for only $60. Now, they didn't break any rules. SMILEGATE advertised it at $60, and you completed the sale at the agreed upon price, and you got your product. And SMILEGATE initially sent out a notice saying that they were going to remove resources from the players who bought it at the lower price, which is in breach of many consumer protection acts. Not the least of which is false advertising. You can't say, hey, it costs this much, complete the sale, and then go back and force demand more money for the purchase. It's literally against the law. So a lot of people were frustrated and irritated about this. So in response, SMILEGATE has decided to do the following. To ensure that no error is placed at a disadvantage, all items included in the Robin's Mystic Pack number 4 will remain unchanged for those who purchased the pack during the impacted period, even though it was an unintended price. So what they're saying here is if you bought it for $60, you get it. You get everything that you were supposed to get. You agreed upon a purchase price for certain items, and they're giving it to you. That's great. But they're going further than that. They say they recognize this may cause a sense of unfairness for those who purchased it at the normal price, which is true. I got it for $60. You paid $100 for it. How fair is that? You didn't know that if you just logged on with a different device, you could have gotten a 40% discount. So to address that unfairness, they will be providing all heirs who purchased the pack during the impacted period for the full price of $100, they will be giving you 40% more resources. That works out to 640 Mystic Medals, 16 Leafs, and 32 Robin coupons per pack you bought. So multiply it by 3 if you bought all 3 packs. This is only for the people who paid $100 and only during the window where it was advertised at a lower price on iOS. So credit where credit's due. Hats off to you, SMILEGATE. You did good. This is the way to handle a situation. You don't penalize your player base for something that wasn't their fault. You step up, you do the right thing, and they've done it here, so props. This is a great way to handle it. So those of you who got it at $60, you got it. Those of you who paid more during that period will get the additional resources, and now that it's been corrected in the shop, the pack will behave normally. You can't buy it now and get the 640 extra. It only was during the impacted period, which was on the first day of release. The next bit of confusion centered around Operation Catch a Zieg event, where to farm to get carrots. So here's the confusion with this. Carrots are not based on where you farm. They're based on the stamina you use. If you spend 1,000 stamina in Rift, or you spend 1,000 stamina in Hunt, so you spend 1,000 stamina in Spirit Altar, you've still spent 1,000 stamina, and the carrot reward drop is going to be based on those stages. As long as you're spending 10 or more stamina, there is no difference, no matter where you farm. So where should you farm? Well, you should farm where you need resources. Do you need gear? Well, farm Rift. Do you need reforged mats? Farm hunts. You need catalysts? Farm the side store. You need runes? Farm Spirit Altar. No matter where you farm, as long as you're spending stamina, the drops are the same. There is one minor exception that if you really, really want to min-max your stamina per carrot, you can do it. And that's that if it's over 10 stamina, you get the percentage drop. So if you farm an 8 stamina stage, you can theoretically increase your stamina to carrot ratio by about 20%. So farming the side stories in the Book of Memories, things like Unrecorded History, especially Eulogy for a Saint because it's so good in other things, or if you're farming Chapter 1, since Chapter 1 is only 8 stamina, you can theoretically min-max your carrots and get a little bit more juice from the squeeze. Now, should you do that? Only if you really, really want to min-max your carrots. Personally, I think you're going to get all the carrots you need farming your normal stamina wherever. So I would recommend you farm your stamina in the place that is best for your account. Don't farm Unrecorded History if you're starved for gear. If you're completely out of runes and reforged mats, maybe you should go for Spirit Altar or hunts. But you do you. It is slightly better to farm those 8 stamina stages. Another chunk of confusion was this message right here. At the very bottom of this note, it says, side stories. Carrots cannot be obtained in story stages. This does not mean side story stages cannot collect carrots. SMILEGATE sometimes doesn't English so good. What this means is that stages that are repeatable but have no stamina cost will not drop carrots. For example, if you're in the side story and there is a story stage in the side story that costs 0 stamina, that will not earn you carrots. So you have to spend stamina in order to earn carrots. The one exception, the one thing they left out is, for some reason, even though you're spending stamina in it, expeditions do not drop carrots. So don't blow your stamina farming expeditions expecting to get carrots. That appears to be the one place in the game where stamina does not convert into carrots. The next bit of drama is about the exchange. Confusion centered around how the exchange system is going to work. And this is where I need to apologize for a little bit of a misinformation in the last video. The SMILEGATE employee I talked to was misinformed on this, and I passed that on. So let me try to clarify. So week 1, 2, 3, and 4 will remain open for the duration of the event once they're unlocked. And what I'm saying here basically is, if you want to buy this Reforged Mana Stone, but you don't have the carrots now, when week 2 is open, you will still be able to use these carrots to go back to week 1 and buy this. Week 1 will remain open for the entire 4 weeks of the event. And once week 2 is open, it will remain open throughout the entire event. Week 3 will remain open through the entire event. Once you unlock a week, you will be able to go back to the prior week and buy any of the rewards in there that you missed. So you don't have to worry about busting your butt to grind last minute to get the last rewards. You can grind, especially like if you started the game on a Saturday and you only have like 2 days left to farm an entire week. They're not doing that to you. You can farm the entire 4 weeks and then go back. So what's that mean? That means you can save your gold carrots. If there's nothing in here that you want, you don't have to worry about your carrots going away. When week 2 opens, you will still have your 80 carrots and you can jump right in and buy the selector ticket if that's in your tree. One thing, though, that I needed to clarify that we were misinformed on is the unlimited purchase items of stamina and the catalyst chance box. These are going to change every week. SMILEGATE specifically said right here that the selection of unlimited items will change every week. So when week 2 starts, these 2 items will go away. The catalyst chest and the stamina, and they will be replaced by unlimited purchase items in this week, which you can already see here are get a charm box and then unlimited charms. And in week 3, there'll be unlimited lesser artifact charms. I mean, I know you guys are missing the stamina, but unlimited artifact charms, anyone? As well as the molded chance box. And week 4 will be unlimited rare catalysts, unlimited epic catalysts, and a random magic stone gift box. Once these are unlocked, all the prior week's unlimited purchase items, I am told, will disappear. So you will not be able to go back and spam farm the stamina. if the latest information I got is true. If that changes again, I'm sorry. I'm just going on the latest info I was told. And speaking of the shop, now I'm going to bring up something that, if this is the first time you're hearing about it, I am so sorry. But the limited summon tickets. So those of you who saw the range of the limited summon tickets in the paid Robin shop, who got excited seeing, oh my god, Afternoon Soak Flan is available on those tickets, so she'll surely be available in the free tickets, that is not the case. The free tickets are allowing you to summon heroes, limited heroes, up to Blooming Litica. That means any hero prior to Blooming Litica's first banner will not be available in the free limited summon tickets. Same with the artifacts. Now, what's that mean? Well, that means Flan was about 5 months ago. That means the paid Robin tickets, you could get Flan, you could get Frida, Ida, or Laya. But the free summon tickets, you cannot get Flan, you cannot get Frida, you cannot get Ida, you can even not get Laya, because Blooming Litica's banner was in January, and all of those banners came out after January 2024. Is a 15-month blackout period. And I know it sucks, right? There was some expectation there, but it is what it is. And it's the way of the world. You go and park your car in free parking, you've got a longer walk to the venue than the paid parking. You know what? I went and had some food at the soup kitchen. It wasn't anywhere near as good as the meal I got at the Ritz-Carlton. The guys who are sitting in first class have way more leg room than me sitting here in coach. It's crazy that the higher priced premium purchase tickets are going to offer better rewards than the free tickets, but that's just the way this works. That's one of the ways they encourage you to purchase the items. Why would people buy the tickets from the Robin pack if they could just get it for free? Now, does it feel unfair? Sure. Life isn't fair, and anyone who tells you different is probably trying to sell you something. So be aware of that with these tickets, that they do have a more limited range. Now, there's also been some confusion and frustration. Let's call it what it is. People are upset. They're disappointed because the shops, what you can get in these shops varies based on whether or not you're a brand new player or a returner player, somebody who's not played Epic 7 for 30 days, or a veteran player. Here, this is a list that somebody in the community made. Now, I've not vetted it, but I assume it's correct. You guys will have to let me know if any of the information herein is not correct. But as you can see, as far as the limited selectors, we're all treated the same. We all get one. But the hero and artifact selectors, the straight-up RGB selectors, new players and returner players get 2 heroes and 3 artifacts. Veterans only get 1 each. And this has been disappointing, right? When we were told, hey, you're going to get 2 heroes and 3 artifacts max, we all assumed it was if you ground the event and you did all the right things and you followed the rules that you could get up to a maximum of those heroes. But it turns out the maximum means if you were a newer returner player. But veterans, no, sorry, you guys only get 1. And also for the regular hero and artifact tickets, the ones that don't have any selector to them, just the random, here's a bunch of tickets. Yeah, veterans don't get any. Returners and new players, they get 3. And also 50 less Covenant bookmarks. So across the board, it's kind of worse across the board. And this has caused some frustration. Now, it makes sense. I get it. New people are treated better by businesses. That's the industry standard. Veteran players, veteran users of a service, they're a captured audience. They are already using the service. All you have to do is keep them happy by giving them rewards and perks here and there. But new people, you need to bring new people in and you need to hold them. So new people are always treated better. If you go and buy a house, there is a first-time buyer credit. If you are purchasing a new cell service, they're like, oh, you're a brand new customer, well, here's a promotional deal to make you want to stay with our service. If you go and open an account at a bank, for example, a lot of times they're like, oh, it's your first account, well, here's a freaking toaster. So yeah, it's kind of industry standard that new gets treated better because companies have to do things to attract and hold new players, whereas existing customers, they just have to not piss them off to be able to maintain them. So you can say it's not fair. You can not like it. You can be angry about it. That's fine. I'm not trying to dismiss your feelings on this. Just understand that this is kind of the way the world works. And you can not like it all you want. and you should let SMILEGATE know about it. You can send feedback to SMILEGATE and let them know your feelings on this, and I encourage you to do so. But I can tell you this, it's not going to change for this event. All you're doing is trying to like set the stage for the next event. This event has already been coded, planned, released, and they're already working on what's coming down the road. So this is going to be what it's going to be, guys. If it's disappointing to you, I get it. The issue here isn't the generosity of the items. The issue here isn't even that new players are being treated better than veterans. That's to be expected. The issue here is the lack of fulfilling expectations. Like I said earlier, SMILEGATE is very bad at Englishing. Is that a word? They're very bad at Englishing. And they set us up, right? They said you were going to give away this stuff, and then they didn't follow through, right? Like here's an analogy, right? Let's say I call you up and say, hey, dude, you need to come to my party. I've got this like premium Guinness. It's like their new limited edition. It's going to be freaking amazing party. You should swing by. And then you swing by to my party, and I'm like, hey, dude, welcome to my party. Here's a Pabst Blue Ribbon. And you're like, I thouut you said there was premium Guinness at this party. I'm like, oh yeah, there is. I got that in the back. I'm saving that for the new people that are coming to this party that I'm trying to impress. But you always come to my party, so enjoy your Pabst Blue Ribbon. Now, I just gave you a free beer. You should never be upset about free beer. But your expectations were not really fulfilled, right? I kind of set you up for something better than a shitty PBR. I kind of got you excited about this really cool stuff, and now suddenly you're not getting it. Now, if I had just said, hey, I'm throwing a party coming over, there'll be free beer, it would have been a little different, but you can understand why SMILEGATE's saying 3 artifact selector or 2 hero selectors, all of these summon tickets, extra bookmarks, and suddenly it's not there. It's kind of a letdown. So just make sure you are being angry about the right thing. It's okay to be angry that SMILEGATE is not being as good as explaining how they're rolling out an event, that they're setting up expectations and not fulfilling them. But don't be mad about getting free stuff. This is still the most generous thing I've seen them do since the Dash event, and I can't be upset about limited selectors and free hero tickets. It would have just been nice if they hadn't hyped us up so much only to not follow through on their hype. Now, enough negative stuff. Let's talk about something new and interesting, something we've seen for the first time ever. So, I don't know if you guys noticed, but there's 78 gear in our event again. And I mean, we have told SMILEGATE to stop. Nobody wants to see 78 gear. Nobody likes it, not even for new players. The stats are terrible. Nobody's happy about it. It immediately gets put in storage. Very few people even use it. But this time they did something a little bit different to try to make the 78 gear more interesting. And I think they rolled out 78 gear because they're testing this system, and they didn't want to immediately go in and accidentally break the game. So yeah, it's 78 gear, but look at this. It's got a special effect. Increases the barrier effect granted to the caster by 3 turns. So this is an interesting effect, right? This means a barrier effect that's on the caster is going to be increased by 3%. Now, first things first, it's on a protection set. So protection set automatically is going to give the wearer a barrier effect. But if you look down the road at some of the gear that comes later, here it is on an immunity set. So we know this barrier effect is not just limited to the barrier of the barrier set, but this effect will be on any barriers that are on the caster. So that means if you were given a 10,000 HP barrier, now it's going to be a 10,300 HP barrier. Yeah, it's that insane. It's that insane. But for real, they stack. So if you have multiples of these on, if you have all 6 pieces of these on, it could potentially be an 18% increased barrier. So your 10,000 HP barrier is now 11,800 HP barrier, and so on. So the things to notice, first of all, is it says the barrier effect granted to the caster. So only the person wearing this gear. Only the person wearing this gear. If you're running this barrier set, it does not give a 3% stronger barrier to the rest of your team. It is still the standard barrier. And understand that this is 78 gear. And that means that the HP is only going to go up to 60%. So you're going to lose 5% of your HP. On these pieces that have HP as a substat instead of a main stat, you're never going to be able to reforge and make those better. And also, an HP, a barrier set with a speed main feels kind of weird. You usually don't want speed main on your barrier set wearers because you want them to spam a bigger barrier. So these boots are really very, very unusual. Nobody that I know of runs barrier set and speed mains, but maybe that's going to change. So just be aware, this only affects the unit that's wearing it. How much does it affect it? This right here. Do you see it? You see me zoom in? Yeah, look at that. That is the impact of the barrier set on a 35k HP Ilanov. I switched the weapon out. I bought the weapon for science for you guys so you can see the difference. So you see that little sliver? That little sliver is the extra 3% of a barrier set on a 35,000 HP unit. It is not that big of a deal. Now, maybe if you stack all of them, it'll be a bigger deal, but understand, although the percentage will vastly increase your barrier, the quality of the gear will decrease your HP points, which will decrease the size of your barrier you get from a barrier set. Now, if you're receiving a barrier from somebody else, say you put this immunity set on your Tori, for example, you're going to be running your Tori on an HP main neck with no damage substats, neither of which she wants, so it's going to feel kind of weird to use this to force a barrier. Basically, I guess what I'm trying to say is this is worthless. I mean, this is more than worthless. This is actually detrimental to your account. I like that they're trying something, and maybe this is a sign for the future that they're going to look at putting additional effects on gear, which is pretty cool, especially if they start doing it on actual real gear. But on level 78 gear, this little extra something for the barrier, this is nice for newer players who actually get some value out of 78 gear. It'll give them stronger barriers, but I don't think anybody who has been playing for more than a year is going to use this stuff anywhere. It's still just a collector's item, and it's a nice way for them to beta test a new system. We'll have to see where they go with this, if they actually expand this into other effects on pieces of gear and try to make other trying to find other ways to add synergy and uniqueness to our gear system. And hopefully they do it. Just hopefully they never do it again with 78 gear. Smilegate, it's time to stop. No more 78 gear. The last thing I want to cover is I want to thank all of you guys for sending me in your glitch and bug reports, your feedback on the Origin event. Please keep those coming. All the ones that get sent to me, I make sure they're forwarded on to the community managers. You can also submit the reports yourself. It is the fastest way to get your issue addressed is to send in a ticket yourself. Now, you can do that in-game from the lobby. You just go over to the boxes in the corner, you go to the settings section, and you click this customer support tab, and it will bring you to the customer support page where you can fill out a report. I have a recommendation, I have a glitch, I have an issue, and let Smilegate know what the problem is. But by all means, keep sending me the feedback. I will forward it on. We have had a lot of glitches and bugs and weird eccentricities and interactions with the Origin event. Some of them have been kind of game breaking, like this one where you cannot complete the Una connection because it wants you to do episode 2 chapter 10, but episode 2 chapter 10 is a one and done mission. So if you did it before you completed the Una mission, now you're locked out from completing the Una mission. That will be patched. There was a similar one with the Mercedes mission where you couldn't enter the stage to get the materials you needed to activate the Mercedes specialty change. So they are addressing those. I believe some of them might have already been addressed. The others will definitely be picked up in the next patch. There have also been some weird graphical issues, like this one where if you sell gear, it's showing you selling the gear for millions of gold. Now, this is literally just a graphical issue. It is not actually giving you that much gold. Once you complete the sale, the normal amount of gold happens. The screen's just registering random weird numbers. We've had issues where when you upgrade gear to from 85 to 90, it's still showing the gear is 85 on the unit until you click off the unit, click back on, then it refreshes and shows the correct gear. The Hall of Trials rewards. A lot of people think they didn't get their Hall of Trials rewards. It was just a graphical glitch where when you went into Hall of Trials, it didn't play the here's your rewards thing, but you did get the rewards. If you check the amount of wisdom gazes and fate gazes you have, you'll see that you did indeed get the rewards from going into Hall of Trials. It just didn't show you getting it, making it feel like you missed it. So yeah, a ton of little graphical issues and glitches, but pound for pound, the Origin update has been pretty clean, has been pretty bug free. from what I expected to happen. And all of these bugs, most of them are just real simple fixes that they can push through within the next update. But if you've got any more, keep them coming. You can use the site linked in the description of the video to send in your support ticket, or you can use the link in game that I showed earlier to send in your ticket. And by all means, send them to me if you feel it's urgent. I'll make sure it is put into the CM's hands to be forwarded up to the headquarters in Korea. But now I got something special for you. The big news, the one you've been waiting for. Something is coming, something exciting. I don't know if you've heard about this yet or not, but the new unit's been revealed. That's right, it's Summer Dark Corvus. Yeah, we're getting the super hot, super sexy summer. I can't, I'm sorry. We're getting Renok. Renok's reveal is going to be this Friday morning, 10 a.m. UTC, 6 a.m. Eastern Time, 3 a.m. Pacific. We're going to see Renok. We're going to see what her kit actually looks like. Will it be the same as it was in the game, or will they improve it? I can tell you they usually, the kits that are shown in the game are different than their actual kits. Look at when Bellion was first revealed in her boss stage, right? She had built-in injury. She doesn't have that. Stray's kit was very different. So every time we have a unit appear in the game, a lot of times their kit has elements of that, but it's going to be different. So don't expect Renok to be the same as in the game. We get to find out this Friday what she really looks like. But that's been a question on so many people's minds is, when is Renok coming? When are we going to get Renok? And I've been told people like, oh, probably not for several weeks yet, guys. Well, evidently, we're going to find out this Friday when we get her. And usually when they do a reveal, the banner is either the following week or the week after. It's never more than 2 weeks. So we are less than 2 weeks away, maybe even 1 week away from the Renok banner going live. So get hyped, guys. I hope this info burst helps you guys out. I hope it helps soothe some frayed nerves, some people who might be upset at the limited tickets and the distribution of rewards in the shops. If you are still upset about that, I get it. You have the right to be upset about that. Send SMILEGATE your feedback. Let them know that they need to be a little more forthcoming next time about the rewards to avoid setting up unfulfilled expectations. But try not to be mad over free stuff. Free stuff is great, and this event is generous. It's very hype. We're all having a lot of fun. I'm excited that Epic 7 is in such a good place right now. It's a perfect time to start this game. If you have any questions, ask them in the comments section. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and you guys have a great rest of your week. Take care, Epic 7.